Pokemon Unite hot takes. What's good, internet? My name is JB, and today we're going to be going over you guys' hot takes. And let me tell you, you guys have some absolutely insane things to say about Pokemon Unite. But you know what's even more insane? The fact that you watching this video may or may not be subscribed. So please be sure to subscribe. I would really like to hit 5,000 by the end of 2024. So if you're new here, you're not subscribed, consider hitting the button if you like the content. Also like the video, really helps out in the algorithm, yada, yada, yada. Use my code JBFuel at checkout at gfuel.com, and let's get into it. But I'm going to go ahead and start out with my own hot take. That being that I think all of the EVs should evolve at level 5. Level 4 power spikes are just too broken. I mean, look at Leafeon. It can just walk up top lane after getting one buff for free and just completely one-shot an entire lane with Solar Blade. So either nerf the crap out of Solar Blade or make it evolve at level 5. I think that's pretty fair. But that's just my hot take. Let's get into some of your guys's. And let me tell you, there are some wild things here, and I'm starting to understand why some of my solo queue games are really, really bad. Starting with this absolute scorcher that MMR is garbage. Very, very hot take. But yeah, MMR is bad, matchmaking's bad. We all know this. Okay, this one actually has a couple of things I can get on board with though. Nerf Slowbro, Scald, and Unite. Remove Umbreon, nerf Glaceon, remove Clefable and Comfort, and make T-Tar online at level 8. So I don't think Slowbro needs a Scald nerf. I mean, Scald's kind of whatever. I mean, it does good damage, but like, that's kind of all it does. And its Unite move, maybe a longer cooldown, like, yeah, it's one of the best Unite moves in the game and has been for a long time, whatever. Remove Umbreon, I can get behind this. See, now you're starting to cook. I can get behind removing Umbreon. Umbreon's crazy. We'll get to that more in a second. Nerf Glaceon, I also agree. We'll get to that in a second as well. Remove Clefable and Comfort, yes, remove Comfort. I'm so on board with removing Comfort from the game. It's the worst designed character they've ever made. It's the most broken character they've ever made, and you bet your sweet Bippy, once draft comes next month, that is the only Pokemon that I am going to be banning. Every single game, it's Comfort ban. Every single game. And then finally, we have make T-Tar online at level 8. I'm actually genuinely think this is a good idea. That's not really good English, but Dragonite is a pseudo-legendary, evolves at level 8. Gudra evolves at level 8. I think it's time to do away with level 9 evolutions, totally. So help out Metagross. Obviously, you might need to nerf that guy again. Help out Mamoswine. Like, why does Mamoswine evolve at 9 and Gudra evolves at 8? Like, I think this is fine. You know, Garchomp, help that guy out a little bit, help Machamp out a little bit, and it would make your solo queue teammates who pick these Pokemon a little less useless. They only have to get one more level to be in their final form. And I think this is totally fine change to make. Get rid of level 9 Evos altogether. Okay, I said we're gonna get to it in a second, but this guy is saying that Umbreon and Glaceon are perfectly fine. Umbreon may even need a foul play buff. I don't really feel like I need to comment on this one too much. Like, Umbreon is easily one of, if not the most broken defenders in the game. Like, Mean Look is insanely overpowered, has an incredible Unite move, incredible sustain, and no, don't buff foul play. Glaceon being perfectly fine. It does some of the most damage in the game. You can literally one-shot pretty much the entire attacker roster on a move that's a sure hit that you don't have to aim. It's literally a skillless Pokemon that can one-shot half the entire game. So no, neither one of these Pokemon are perfectly fine. They both need nerfed. Actually have this one in a couple of ways. We have a couple people saying they prefer the Zapdos map, and we have Crispy here saying that at least you could try to KO the enemies before they reach your goal zones. With Ray Shields, they can kill you before you can even try. I found myself dying more often after securing Zap than Ray. I'm gonna have to disagree with this one for the most part. I prefer Rayquaza. I just feel like it's easier. It is easier to fight back against the Ray Shield than it is against the Zapdos. And by that, I mean, there is actually a chance to fight back after the Ray is secured. Obviously, whichever team secures either Zapdos or Ray, you have like a 90+% chance of winning the game anyway. But I feel like you have at least a snowball's chance in hell of winning against Ray Shield, where Zapdos, it's literally a free 500 points. They don't have to do anything. They just have to survive. Like, I guess you could say, you know, Ray Shield makes them survive better. I mean, obviously it does because it's more HP, but I don't know, man. I prefer Ray. It gives you a little bit more of a fighting chance. So that's just me. I understand where people are coming from with Zapdos, though. I think just nerf Ray Shield would be a good way to go about it, or better yet, just make the first 8 minutes of the game matter more. That would also, you know, be a good way to go about things. But yeah, no, I'm a Ray believer personally. Let's get a couple of easy ones out of the way. No and no. Here's another one I could absolutely get behind. Buff Charizard. I'm tired of Blast and Venusaur being top tier, and my boy is so far behind. I think Charizard is one of the worst Pokemon in the game. I keep seeing this weird pushback from certain people, and you know, just people in general saying that Charizard is actually decent. No, Charizard is quite pitiful in my personal opinion. I don't know if it's as simple as just giving it true damage back, but that wouldn't hurt because Charizard Unite move is honestly just kind of a tickle. Half of the attackers in the game that you can, one shot or actually get a KO with your Unite move have passive abilities, EVs, that can just negate your Unite move anyway. It gets canceled super easily by full heal, just the, crazy amount of unstoppable in the game. And even when you do land it, like, you're not ripping through any all-arounder, supporter, attack, defender. You're only going to be able to rip through a couple of speedsters, honestly, because they can just run away. And then, like I said, attackers are really the only thing you can sort of target with Charizard Unite move. Like, I think it's a really, really bad Unite move. It just needs more damage overall. Like, Charizard just needs to do more damage. And then to counteract that, Blastoise is overhyped. The dude got one level change and he's automatically S tier. When Tree is right there with his whole CC kit, IMO, he's mid, high, A+ tier at best. Okay, well, first off, mid to high A+ tier is still, like, unbelievably good. And second off, yes, he's absolutely F tier after one level up change. Surf Hydro Pump is the most broken CC build in the game. It's far more broken than Tree. Like, all Tree has is Wood Hammer. Blastoise has Surf, Hydro Pump, Unite move, boosted attack. Like, its entire kit is CC. Like, Tree, I mean, I guess it has Horn Leech, but Horn Leech is kind of easy to dodge. But no, it's not even close in comparison to in terms of CC, in my opinion. And then it also has a crazy high damage build with Rapid Spin Water Spout and one of the best Unite moves in the game. I'm not saying Tree's bad. Tree is mid to high A+ tier. I would give you that. But Blastoise is easily S tier, one of the 3 to 5 best Pokemon in the entire game. So no, Blastoise is not overhyped. It's insane. Here's another one that's pretty easy. No, give me a balanced team every single time. Come on, Blasty, you're better than that. Okay, this one's a little bit interesting. Lucario, Chandelure, and Gengar are good. They just don't suit the current meta is all. I'm gonna go out and say that obviously you can win with anything in solo queue. Like, Gengar is the worst Pokemon of these three. I don't think it's really close. I think Gengar is honestly quite bad unless you're incredible on Gengar and you get a really good level lead. Like, that's the only way you win with Gengar is if you're snowballing a game. Because if you're just stuck, like, in lane as a Haunter for the entire game, I'm not worried about you. And that's 90% of the Gengars I see. Lucario, it's a fine Pokemon. I think they're just better all-arounders. I think Chandelure is actually legitimately good. It got play a lot in the LG tournament, and a lot of pro teams do like Chandelure as an attacker or jungler. I think Chandelure is actually quite good in the current meta. And obviously, you can win with anything in solo queue, but in terms of the meta, if you want to, go all on that, I think Chandelure's quite good. Okay, this one got me baffled a little bit. So move speed emblems are more valuable than HP and attack emblems for Buzzwole. That's how badly he needs move speed. Having just 6 brown and white emblems is more than enough for him. The extra move speed is like having a free float stone without the out of combat move speed. You don't even need to use a float stone when there are so many other held items he wants to use. So it feels like you're kind of talking in circles here. You're saying that movement speed is more valuable than HP and attack on Buzzwole, yet you say brown, white, 6, which are HP and attack. I guess you could run a lot of movement speed, but then you're running Dodrios and Dugtrios, which give like literally negative HP and a lot too. So I don't know about that one. And then the movement speed is like a float stone, but don't run float stone when you could just run float stone, but there's so many other items. The main thing at the crux of this is that Buzzwole needs move speed. It doesn't. Like, that's just plain and simple. Buzzwole doesn't need move speed. Buzzwole's broken, like, with just HP and attack. Like, first off, here's a dirty little secret that not a lot of people tell you. Emblems don't matter. As much as I love them, and some of my highest viewed videos are emblem pages and emblem guides, like, they don't really do anything as long as you're not just tanking your HP. Like, you're not really going to notice a huge difference between black 7 and black 5. Like, you're not going to notice a huge difference. So, or plus 15 attack from an emblem page or plus 10 attack from an emblem page, you're not going to really notice a difference. They don't really do a whole lot. But to get back to the crux of this post, no, Buzzwole does not really need movement speed at all. All right, last one. We're going to go ahead and end it off with one of the crazier things I've ever read. All the content creators generally need to stop talking about nerfing clefable, since you need a good team to work with clefable in order to heal crazy amounts. Also, why on earth are they talking about nerfing clefable when it has so many counters, and also they don't even play supports that often? Like, it's already hard enough for people to play support solo queue. Oh boy, where do I go? First off, the old blaming content creators for getting stuff nerfed. If they listened to what content creators said at Pokemon Unite, then we would have a perfect game. They don't listen to us. We don't have any say in anything. And usually, not always, I will say some of you guys are pretty smart. Sorry, my nose just... But I'll also say, like, content creators play the game more than anyone else. And as such, we know the game better than 99% of people who play it. And if everyone is saying that clefable is broken, I think it's pretty pretty safe to say clefable's broken. It doesn't really have a whole lot of counters. The best way to counter clefable is hoping it doesn't get pill. If a clefable has a team to fight in front of it, you're never gonna get KOs. Clefable heals entirely too much in team fights, and saying it doesn't have counters is, or it has a ton of counters is crazy, because the only counter it has is just hopefully your team has a healer too and can now sustain the other team. Yeah, no, clefable's insanely busted. It's one of the best characters in the game. Like, you have a world champion putting it S tier in his tier list. Top 3 Pokemon in the game. Like, I don't really need to say much else other than that. It's, yeah, clefable's broken. Nerf clefable, and they don't listen. They don't care what content creators have to say. We don't have any influence on the game. At least I don't. I would love to. Hit me up. But that's really all I have for this one. I like to do these videos every so often, so make sure you check out my community tab every now and then and see if I'm asking for, you know, hot takes or whatever. Maybe you'll see yourself in a video. Who knows? That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Like, subscribe, do all that sort of nonsense, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.